national title in year 2 of the playoff. Fought for tonight in the desert.
But there were these big questions of, what is this Alabama, program going forward? It had been a few years since they had won a national championship. The game had changed. People wondered whether Nick Saban was still the best. They wondered whether Alabama was still the greatest dynasty. So there was a lot of, I think, attention and pressure leading up to this game as to whether, Alabama could get back on top or whether maybe the game had kind of passed them by in some regard. And so there was a lot of incentive, I think, for Alabama to win that game to prove that they were still the clear, definitive top, dynasty of college football.
For Clemson, simple. Number 4's got to be the X factor. Deshaun Watson running and throwing.
Clemson's this ascendant franchise. They're coming up to the top. They were getting there little by little, but here's kind of their big moment on the scene. And you've got, Dabo Swinney, who's an Alabama alum, and so there are a lot of stories about that. There are a lot of storylines. Is Dabo the guy to one day replace Nick Saban? And so you started building up. There's all these interesting storylines between these two. Clemson came out and they were just throwing haymakers right from the get-go, and I think it surprised people. I think I felt pretty good heading into that game that Alabama would win, but the way Deshaun Watson was playing, the way that they were ready to go after Alabama right off the bat, you're almost taken aback, like, whoa, Clemson's for real here. They're not going to back down to Alabama.
Watson rolling out, takes a downfield shot, Renfro in the end zone. From the pocket, a strike and a touchdown again. It's Renfro. Big defensive lineman in the formation, lead blocking for Henry, who just dives to pay dirt.
It felt like Alabama was on the ropes, throughout that game, which I think is why you saw, Alabama maybe be a little bit more aggressive than we typically see in some of those games, and I think we ended up seeing some really interesting decisions that Nick Saban and his staff made, but I think just them really kind of going deep into their bag of tricks to try to win that game because they needed everything to beat Clemson in that one.
64 yards in 8 plays, the big 3rd and 11 conversion to Stewart, the key play, and now an onside kick. Griffith, and it's caught, and Alabama's got the ball back. Marlon Humphrey, the corner, and a perfectly executed little pooch kick. Makes a cut, gets the corner, look out, Kenyon Drake can fly. Eludes the kicker, and will not be caught. Touchdown, Drake!
In that game, I think the two biggest plays are probably that onside kick and then Kenyon Drake taking that kickoff return for a touchdown. That's really, I think, what changed that game and allowed Alabama to win a national championship with what was probably one of their least talented of the 6 national championship teams. And so I think it was really Saban doing what he felt he had to do for them to win that game, and obviously it paid off in a big way.
Medical Properties Trust, at the very heart of healthcare.